Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb. We are tracking some cold Arctic air about to seep in for your early morning. I mean, we're talking about negative digits making their way back into the DMV, sticking around for the start of your weekend. But we do rebound back. I'll have your extended forecast coming up.
The station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
I think if you really needed him, he would be there for you, and that's what he did yesterday. He put his life on the line.
Tonight at 9, a family man and a hero. That's how this longtime neighbor remembers Robert Cunningham, the Metro worker stepping in and sacrificing his own life during a shooting rampage. Coming up, we hear more about the lasting impact he leaves behind.
Also coming up, fired up and demanding accountability. The family of a local man shot and killed 7 times by police say former officer is not getting the punishment he deserves. We hear from them days before the trial.
Plus, Maryland's former governor, famously a critic of former President Trump, but will he have a change of heart in 2024? His new interview drawing attention from Marylanders tonight.
Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us for DC News Now at 9. I'm Tasmin Mahfouz.
I'm Chris Flanagan. Our top story tonight, family and friends are mourning the loss of a Metro worker shot and killed on the job yesterday.
Yeah, witnesses say 64-year-old Robert Cunningham tried to intervene when a gunman went on a shooting rampage, killing him and injuring 3 others. It all happened at the Potomac Avenue Station, Southeast D.C. That's where our Marielle Carbone is live tonight. And Marielle, you spoke to a longtime neighbor of Cunningham. She's understandably still shaken up right now.
Yeah, Tasmin, she says she's still in a little bit of shock from this and says that it's very difficult to know that she's not going to see Robert coming or going to his home anymore. Now, she tells us that he was a family man who loved his job and took so much pride in his wife and kids.
Inside the Potomac Avenue Metro Station, a memorial grows.
A good neighbor, a caring person. He was just really proud of his family and everything that they accomplished.
Mary Whalen has lived across the street from Robert Cunningham for more than 3 decades. Wednesday, the 64-year-old was shot and killed while on the job, working as a mechanic for Metro.
Total shock. I mean, I just can't believe that I'm not going to see him pull in his truck and get out of it. I'm not going to see that ever again.
His heroism has to be recognized here today.
Police say Cunningham intervened after a gunman, now identified as Isaiah Trotman, shot 3 other people. What first started on a Metro bus ended on the train platform. Police say Cunningham was trying to protect the 3rd surviving victim when he was immediately killed.
I was shocked. I was very shocked because it seemed so brutal. What I didn't understand was that how many people were there with him and that this man shot several people in the leg but then chose to kill Bob, which I didn't understand. I still don't understand it.
Whalen says the loss is difficult to process.
People have been calling him a hero.
Mm-hmm.
Does that match the person you know?
I think so. I think if you really needed him, he would be there for you, and that's what he did yesterday. He put his life on the line, so to speak, and you know, he didn't have to do that. So that's heroic to me.
And Metro is raising money to help support his family in the aftermath of all of this. So far, they've raised more than $50,000. Reporting live in Southeast tonight, I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.
And flags have been lowered around some Metro stations in honor of Robert Cunningham. Metro also put up this photo on social media showing the Metro logo draped in a black cloth. The agency says it's thankful for the D.C. community's outpouring of love and support.
And at the same time, the union representing Metro workers, which Cunningham was also a member of, is blasting that agency. Members say they're failing to provide better protection and safety measures for its staff. ATU International President John Costa says violence is trending across the industry, and he wants to see change.
Every day I see another operator, station starter, dispatcher, mechanic getting assaulted, if not killed. I'm concerned. I'm really upset. I'm upset that we're not doing more in the industry, not only for my members and the workers, but also for the riders.
The WMATA board held an emergency meeting today. The agenda was about safety and security measures, but we don't know exactly what was discussed since it was behind closed doors.
Now we're also learning the suspect has a history of erratic behavior. This past April, Isaiah Trotman was charged with several drug charges in Pennsylvania. A district attorney there says he ran around grabbing plants and yelling at guests at a motel. Trotman also pleaded guilty just last month to possession of methamphetamine. He was set to be sentenced in the coming months.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Switching gears very quickly here. Weather-wise, we are noticing increasing clouds. Camera not shaking at this point. We are going to watch winds stirring up really throughout the overnight into early morning, and it's going to cause our wind chills to be a major concern here across the district. Satellite composite radar, high cirrus clouds taking over the DMV, coming in from west to east, really going to continue for the next few hours, and then we're going to see partial clearing with kind of this sun and cloud mix for your Friday. Not a bad day at all. We're not going to track any precip, and the reason being it's lingering well to the south. It's been a very dreary day for the Carolinas to the southeast. Here's that large cold front because the backside, man, it is going to cause some Arctic air to make its way into the DC metro area, and unfortunately it is going to cool us off dangerously for your Friday and into your Saturday. Current temperature is 38 degrees. It's important to look at the winds here. South-southwest, 11 miles per hour. That front that I just showed you, let's rewind here, that is going to transition the winds out of the north and east, change kind of this entire weather pattern to allow us to see negative digits for your Friday into your Saturday. We'll look at that coming up.
And new tonight, more law enforcement could face charges for the death of Tyre Nichols.
Yeah, he is a Memphis man beaten by police officers in January and died 3 days later. This is just some of the disturbing video from police cam video from that night. 5 officers were already charged. Others were fired. More are facing disciplinary action. This is all happening as a case of an in-custody death here in the DMV moves through the court system. A former Prince George's County officer is accused of killing a D.C. man in 2020. Our Prince George's County reporter, Yamari Sase, talked to William Green's family about their frustration with the case.
Yeah, I spoke to William Green's cousin, who says she's angry and devastated about what she learned just a few days before trial. The former officer who shot and killed her cousin was offered a plea deal for voluntary manslaughter instead of second-degree murder.
Maintained a little bit of hope that we might get a little bit of accountability and let my anger subside and just said, Nikki, just have faith that these people will do the right thing. And I've held that. But that day, I let that go.
William Green's family is disappointed. After reaching out to the state's attorney's office several times about the in-custody death of their loved one, they finally got a response.
They told us in light of new evidence, we've decided to offer him a plea deal of voluntary manslaughter and 2 lesser charges, 2 of the lesser charges. And we were like, what? This wasn't manslaughter. Like, what do you mean? This was murder.
In January 2020, Prince George's County officers responded to a car accident that involved Green. They believed he was under the influence of a substance. Green was handcuffed and placed in the front seat of the patrol car as they waited for a drug recognition expert. Minutes later, Officer Michael Owen entered the vehicle, and moments later, Green was shot 7 times. Owen was arrested and charged with second-degree murder a day later.
He was a good guy. He didn't deserve this. He deserved better than this.
In 2021, the family was given a $20 million settlement from the county. And now, with just days before trial is set to begin, they learned a plea deal was on the table.
I want the judge to know this is a dangerous man, and he needs to serve the time. Even if the judge doesn't throw out this plea, I want them to know that the citizens of PG County are watching. The citizens of PG County are listening, and that the people of PG County are going to fight for change so that another family doesn't have to do this.
Reporting in Prince George's County, I'm Yamari Sase, DC News Now.
In the wake of Tyre Nichols' killing, DC's ACLU is calling on City Council to disband one of the police department's special units. The gun recovery unit targets illegal guns, but the ACLU says it disproportionately targets black communities in the district and says the unit has received countless complaints of harmful tactics and has been the focus of several lawsuits. DC's police chief calls disbanding the GRU a far reach. He points to revamping, retraining, and adding new hires over the past 2 years.
And as the 2024 presidential election gets closer, Maryland's former Republican Governor Larry Hogan made contradicting statements today on whether he'd support Donald Trump if he becomes a Republican nominee. Now, Hogan is famously anti-Trump, but in an interview this morning with conservative radio host Hugh Hewitt, he said he would support whoever the Republican nominee is, even if it was Trump. Now, he later partially walked back that statement on Twitter, writing that he won't commit to supporting Trump, but that, quote, I fully expect to support the Republican nominee. Now, our Leonard and Fleming recently sat down with Hogan and asked him about Trump. Here's part of that exchange. He's facing a litany of charges. Do you think he gets indicted this year?
You know, I don't want to speculate. I'm not a lawyer, and I don't know enough about the evidence to make that kind of a decision. But it's certainly having difficult times, and I think a lot of people, even who supported President Trump's policies and voted for him, are starting to lose patience, and he's starting to lose support. And people are like saying, I supported him, but enough is enough, and maybe it's time to look in a different direction.
So on the flip side, former President Donald Trump said today that there's a chance that he might not endorse the 2024 GOP candidate if the former president does not receive the nomination. He said it depends on who the nominee is and whether he would endorse them or not.